Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Central Regional Playoffs here at CF1. And we just watched TAMU Maroon go off against Longhorn Gaming in a very hard-fought but deserved win in our first round. So they're going to be moving on, and now they are going to be facing up against OSU, a team that touts just as impressive as a record as A&M.
Yeah, these two teams going head-to-head right now, they are of equal caliber. I mean, last game, we didn't expect Longhorns to have that great of a showing, and I'm glad they did. They came out like they didn't want to go out. They came in with the chance to win versus Texas A&M, and that's what I'm going to hope to see from Oregon State versus Texas A&M in this semifinals here. Of course, off stream, we did have DePaul, the favorite of the tournament, the first seed, go down to Western 2-1, and UH Premier dispatching of St. Louis in a quick 2-0. And those two teams will also be playing head-to-head, with our winner of that match playing the winner of our upcoming match today.
Yeah, I think the finals in the Central region are going to be pretty lit, if I'm not mistaken. But bringing it back to the here and now, back to the present, we've got OSU, Texas A&M, and it's the same map pool. In the same order, we are going to be going to Haven first, then Ascent, and then if we have a third map, which I wouldn't be surprised to see us go to, we're going to be playing Icebox again. And A&M's warm. They just played all these
Yeah.
maps.
But the advantage could go over to OSU if they have been watching the broadcast, watching how TAMU plays these exact maps, and if they've been doing their homework, just tuning to the broadcast, looking a little bit how Aggro and the rest of them like to play in these spots. They know what spots they like to play. So these are now pre-fireable. They're now like downloaded almost into their minds. And if that's the case, then we could be seeing some really crispy gameplay from OSU. You know, it looks like they might have wall hacks.
True.
Then if
That's it's not a lot of time to implement those changes, and with how hectic Valorant can be, I wouldn't be surprised to see OSU drop the ball once or twice on a couple of the gimmicks that TAMU brought to the table last time around. But a very good point. OSU has the opportunity here. Oh, look out there! Has the opportunity here to have a little bit of extra information, and they're coming up fresh, so going to be able to bring a different element to the table. The kicker for me, I think, for A&M, you've got to be able to reset how you want to play the game, because Longhorns didn't let you do that. The Longhorn Gaming did a really good job of impairing the pace that A&M was able to play at, completely in some situations deciding where those engagements were going to happen instead of letting A&M make those decisions, which is how they like to play. They like to get into your face, be the first aggressor, take first contact, and then put you on your heels. And from there, they have a massive advantage because they're comfortable. Longhorns didn't let them do that. So is it A or B? Are you coming into this kind of working in a couple of extra things just in case OSU is also able to stop you in your tracks? Or do you just stick to the tried and true, play aggressive, get your two duelists out there and hammer it out?
I think it's going to be the prior for them. TAMU is a team that showed in this series that they can look for that early aggression, but they can also default. They slowed it down a lot versus LU when they were on offense. They played a little slower, let Helms lurk onto that B side of Icebox. They allowed Agger to take contact by himself towards A, even left him to lurk a couple of rounds too towards that A site. And that's going to be very critically different for them because the way they played defense versus LU wasn't really standard for them. They like to aggress. They like to three-man push out A, three-man push out C, do these weird things on a Haven where they shove out, take the space, take the control from them, but they didn't do that this past series. So perhaps they're saving a little bit in the tank for OSU, or it could just be that this is a new TAMU that we're seeing.
Well, let's take a quick look at what these teams are truly fighting for. For those of you just joining, a little bit of a breakdown of the rules here in the playoffs. But we are going to be having the top two teams from each region will be advancing into our grand finals. And at that grand finals, it is going to be double elimination. Not single. You're going to get a second chance if you get knocked down to the lowers bracket. But, first place, walking away with $5,500. Fourth place, walking away with $500. So, wherever you land within those top four, you're going to be walking away with a little bit of change. That's what OSU and TAMU are really hunting for here on Haven. And, composition-wise for OSU, they've been a team that tends to stick a little bit straighter towards the meta. So, what would you be expecting from that?
Yeah, if they've been falling with the current meta, I'm expecting a lot more Astra over Omen, and of course we're expecting a little more Raze gameplay. We didn't see Raze in the previous matchup between LU and TAMU, but for this one, I mean, Raze is the powerful agent on Ascent, Haven, and of course Icebox. The satchels afford you a movement. You can get timings similar to how Jet gets timings, and the nade, a critical utility piece for any team looking to hold on for post plant or looking to execute. And the rocket, of course. We all know those nice clips with the rocket. If teams are grouped up a little bit, boom goes the dynamite. And going forward, I mean, for these two teams right now, I'm thinking that it might be a little bit more for TAMU. You said they're warm, and we know OSU is a powerhouse, but I'm looking at these maps. They're the same ones from last match, and because of the same ones, maybe TAMU, they've warmed up a little bit. The more you play those maps, the better you get at them. So maybe they're just, evolving just like LU did.
And I wouldn't be surprised to see that at all. But it does look like there's a little bit of a connection issue going on. So you're gonna have to keep looking at our pretty faces for just a little bit longer. But yes, OSU has been doing a really good job so far. To break down what their record's been, they were 8-1 in split one, and I believe their only loss was to Houston, to UH Premier. So not a team that, just like how TAMU isn't kicking themselves about losing to DePaul, OSU is not going to be kicking themselves about losing to UH Premier. So 5-0 in split two. So in total, they've only lost one match in the entirety of those two splits. A very impressive record, and not many teams can tout it.
Yeah, I mean, the same thing, though, for TAMU. They went 9-0 split one, and in this split, they're 4-1. They've gone undefeated in maps except for the one match that they lost. So it's a head-to-head between two teams which are undefeated except for versus different other teams. When they play each other, though, because they haven't really, because, you know, you have Central Group 1 and Central Group 2. Now that they're going head-to-head, though, that's going to be a difference between groups. We talk about group strength in other esports, and in this one for Valorant, if these two teams haven't played each other, then what's going to be this power level measurement between the two? Is one team going to be looking at the other schools that are in the other group and be like, oh, can we scrim you guys and find out how good you are comparatively? Or can we be the team that goes, okay, we know we're better than these guys. We've seen how they play. We're just gonna go in there, swing around. You know, we've seen enough. We got them figured out.
We'll see what happens. Predictions. What do you got? Are you going with?
For me, I'm gonna go 2-1.
Got to see a lot. What do you think? 2-1 who? 2-1 who?
2-1 TAMU again. I mean, 2-1 TAMU from last game. I'm expecting a repeat, pretty much exact replica of what we saw, but I do think, though, this time it will be more hard fought. It will look like it's in the favor of OSU at times and then go back, whereas TAMU versus LU, it looked like it was neck and neck almost, but I'm expecting OSU to, having seen this game, to download them a little bit, figure them out, and then TAMU has to adapt on the fly and then take over the game.
Okay, putting stock in the adaptability of Texas A&M. I'm for it. And, you know, for the purpose of being the counterpart, and of course for those channel points, I am gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put it on OSU. I think that both the fact that they've been able to see TAMU play before and the fact that they're coming in fresh, I think stamina wise they're gonna have a little bit of an upper hand, as well as I think Central Group 1 was a little bit of a harder group than Central Group 2 as far as teams that were involved. So I think for them to come out with the record that they have, even though it is identical to TAMU, I think they were going up against a bit of a larger caliber of team. It looks like our connection issues have been resolved. You ready to do this? Because I'm ready to go in, Jonah.
Yep, Scheidel. We got the Astra as we were expecting from the side of OSU. Instead of the Omen play, I'm expecting TAMU to go much of the same, and the key difference here is the Cypher Astra for the Killjoy Omen. That key difference will amount to a lot in the way that these two teams hold the A bomb site. Killjoy more adept at holding C than Cypher, but Cypher being better at holding A. So TAMU, look for them to hold down the C site with that Killjoy, and then have two duelists over towards A on their defense. And then OSU, maybe they'll just play Cypher there in the form of Dragonfly. Either way, though, having played against both of these teams, I would say that OSU is a little bit stronger, but I'm really looking forward to TAMU adapting. I think they have what it takes, and that's why I'm putting my stock in them for this match.
Now, going up against a composition different than that which they played against previously, how much of a factor do you think that plays into how they have to approach Haven? You know, the Astra now being in the mix.
Yeah, of course, the double sentinel they ran into against LU is very different to the Astra. I'm looking at Custard over here, like, let's see how the mastery is of this champion, right? Because Astra, you have those 5 stars, you can put those down at the beginning of the round, you can pull one back, it creates a temporary smoke, you get that star back, or you can create an actual smoke, which will last for 15 seconds, as you see Custard here in this astral form, plop down those stars, and you also have a concuss and a pull. And these 3 different forms of star utility allow you to do so much around the map. It's almost like you're playing an arcade minigame in your own right.
Yeah, you can see that smoke coming out early over towards A. Completely stops anyone from TAMU from pushing in. And they have to pull away as well as the Graviton well was also there. That would have made for an easy kill for anybody on OSU. Now pushing up, not gonna, gonna check the corner, doesn't see it. Doesn't see the shoulder, so they don't want to take the shot. Rio gonna go down.
Yeah, Rio dropping early is critical now because they don't have the arrow for retake now when they do execute eventually. If OSU's playing defense here and they want to play retake, it's no longer an option. As Rio dropping means the recon dart does drop as well.
You know, only these losing one member OSU, you're not completely deterred here. Aggro taking a lot of damage, but quickly answers back on Dragonfly. Gonna be grounded. Beautiful headshot from Aggro. And now they're gonna have complete control over B. They're not having to play on site. Pretty much at all. Aggro able to find 2 more, and OSU with only 1 left. It's gonna be Custard on the Astra. And very dangerous. Doesn't have any utility left. Only has the 1. Has to recall it. Hopefully to get the smoke to go for the defuse. The Neural Swarm gonna be there. The Nano Swarm, sorry, gonna be there. The kill comes through from Custard with some masterful play, but Amali's gonna make it difficult. Isn't much you can do. You're facing a whole team by yourself, and OSU on the first round won't be able to make much happen.
Yeah, I'm really liking what I'm seeing here from TAMU. They played that round expertly. They got the early pick on the A push, and then Aggro popping off, getting the first kill as the smoke barely misses the timing, and Dragonfly's head gets taken off in the favor of TAMU. They are up 1-0, but still, the key difference is that OSU has not force bought. So if that's the case, look for how many members of TAMU live into this next round.
See some of the Astra set up here on the site. Gonna be able to go ahead and activate the smoke as they walk in, so only half of the members are there to support. Shori's able to find 1, so Helms won't be able to help out their team, but TAMU are gonna put the plant down. OSU with 3 members left, and like we said, didn't force buy, so they're still rocking pistols and frenzies.
Yeah, but getting 1 member, no, almost gets the second. This is crucial for TAMU to keep their economy alive, but OSU doing a great job of taking the members down low.
Yeah, Rio's gonna go ahead and go for a survive, make them move towards him if they want the pick, and maybe, just maybe, find himself 1 on the outside. Oh. Yeah, Aggro knows exactly where you are. You gotta hit the left clicks, even if it's broken, you gotta be able to use it. Aggro gonna find the kill. And OSU so far, you know, maybe they didn't tune into the last match. Maybe it's just they're trying to figure out what they're gonna be able to get away with, but haven't really been able to have a strict answer for the aggression from A&M.
Yeah, you mentioned before that OSU can come in fresh, right? But I feel that TAMU here, they have already warmed up. They know these maps. They just finished playing them. So because they're so warm, they came out firing, you know? So much of this game comes down to the mental, but the physical, having your muscles free and loose and having the blood circulated means that you maybe are a little more confident going for these. As, you know, OSU makes me eat my words. Caster curse, as always. It's definitely a real thing, and OSU, with their guns, take down the double duelist combination from TAMU.
You know, confidence is great, but you can get overconfident. You saw the pursuit there, even though the recon dart had hit Aggro, they continued to push the envelope to try and get the kill onto their opposing Jet. Weren't able to do so, and an easy kill came back from Neon to cover them up. Oh, Neon finds another, and now there's only 2 members of TAMU left. Checks the top, finds the kill. Jim Jones fan moving on to the point is Ed. On the brink here. Gonna have to snap pretty quickly, and it's not gonna happen. OSU this time pretty handedly dealing with TAMU.
Yeah, that little 1v1 right there between Dragonfly and Ed. It's just about who's more patient in that smoke, who's looking the right way, what's the timing like. And Dragonfly winning out just a little bit there over Ed. That's such a cool micro interaction that we're seeing. And because they won the first gun round, they've gotten themselves a decent economy. But still, TAMU, they've gotten themselves rifles of their own now. Let's see if this confidence that they bought into the first and second round continues.
Good recon dart. Not gonna find a lot of information though because TAMU moved so quickly through that initial smoke. And block a lot of sight lines. There's aggro on for the first kill, looking into heaven to see if they can't get a spray through the smoke. But Dragonfly's got the Ares, a lot more bullets at the ready, and a 1-for-1.
Yeah,
OSU still has a pretty good position.
Camera taken out.
Crucially, had that camera up so he knows where the players are for the other side. But Jim Jones fans, we saw that in the last series.
Yep.
He takes out the member in heaven with that shock dart. Man, oh man. They had to have done their research. They had to know that TAMU Jim Jones does that. But unfortunately, Dragonfly gets taken out in that heaven position. He goes for the spam, but immediately we know that to happen. And aggro, man, the guy has 10 frags already. He's already has the same amount of kills as OSU. He's used the knives already. He's almost only one off of the second knives rotation. So the guy is definitely warm. On Icebox in the last series, he did top the charts, and this time he's looking to carry his team into a final.
When we were worried that Longhorn Gaming wouldn't have the research and prep to face A&M, but they really came to the table with ways to play against what A&M's bringing to the table, and I don't see that happening right now for OSU. The aggression coming out from A&M just seems to have not only have them on their heels, but it seems to have knocked them on their bum a little bit. They're going to need to find a way to bounce back. And with A&M switching up the pace at what they're playing, it's not an easy thing to do. They're getting no information right now on where A&M is.
Yeah, and that Cypher towards the A site for OSU isn't paying off. You see Dragonfly going down early. That's the difference between the Killjoy and the Cypher we mentioned at the top of this match. And that's the difference that's showing off right here. The A bomb site is a little bit weaker if the Cypher isn't using those tripwires in the camera properly. And the Killjoy maybe paying off a little bit more as you see Dill here with that run it back go in, gets traded out his life, but still he has another one. It's just like an extra life, right? There's more to spare.
With that, you know, speaking of spare, OSU, only 2 members left now. Aggro does get a little bit of information on having one there now. A&M should know exactly where everybody is. Neon has a huge task ahead of them. Swarm goes out, doesn't find anybody long, still suspects there's at least one for Cubby. Oh, beautiful play there. You know, the swing was there from Ed, but Neon doing a good job of using the recon dart against A&M. Skips the first one, puts himself in place, gets his cursor placement down, and lets himself get noticed in order to find the kill.
Exactly. He baits out his opponent, making him believe he's not ready for that, when in fact it's all just an outplay. And the main thing is every single round that TAMU has won, they've actually gotten the first blood and gotten away without getting traded. And I really want to see something different from OSU here. They're not really pushing in a way that they're tradable. You saw Rio go down, pistol round. You saw in the previous round Dragonfly go down. And these unanswered kills are how TAMU is able to win the round. They're getting early picks, they're falling back, and then re-executing with a numbers advantage.
Still playing pretty slow off the bat, though. You know, their aggression's been a little bit stinted. Oh, Neon is so far up. Trying to find something here and just, you know, just pinned down in this location. It's a difficult spot. Can't get out. Helms finds 2 for TAMU, and OSU now put to dire straits. It's 1-4. Your economy has been broken down.
Yeah, and OSU's got the right idea here. They're trying to go for trades in middle. You saw the setup there. They had 4 players there. The Cypher, Phoenix, the Jet, and the Sova towards that B site, but it wasn't enough as the weaponry just isn't there right now for OSU as it's all up to this lone Astra. She's got 2 stars to her name, but maybe she gets 1, and there it is.
You're able to find 1. Let's see if they'll be able to get anything more. Using utility when walking around corners is never suggested. They're going to go taken down 1-5 now as A&M looking to ride their hot streak.
Yeah, and that's the awkward part about playing Astra in this current meta. So much of this game comes down to timing, and when you have such a weird ability to go into Astra form, it really messes with your sense of where everyone is and where they could be. Because you're focused on the smoke, where to place the stars, and because of that, it delays Custard's timing, not aware of the looming threat that is aggro.
12-2 right now. Just want to point that out, aggro. Oh, this could be a big pick off if Neon can find something here. Able to take aggro out. So the tip of the spear been broken. Neon able to find the second onto Jim Jones. No information now. Going to be coming out of TAMU, so a difficult task ahead of them. You lose your Jet, you lose your Sova. You still have your lockdown, but I'm questioning using that in this situation. I feel like you got to try and get your man advantage back and push on naturally.
Drop the spike.
Yeah, it's gonna be TAMU's plan B. They went towards A, plan A, didn't work out. Now they're going towards C. Let's see what Dill can do here as he's the new tip of the spear, throws the wall down, hits a flash through it. But as they exit, they are just mowed down by this nice crossfire from Custard and Dragonfly. That is the second round on the board for OSU. It is a welcome one for their side, but maybe TAMU can still do this, still upset OSU if they're able to continue bringing these rounds back and string them along.
And you know, it does come down to Neon getting those early picks. We've talked a lot about TAMU's aggression, and you talked earlier about how often they're getting the first pick without trading, and that's because OSU is playing in such a fashion to where only their Jet is playing with these aggressive peaks. So if they're just not able to find anything this time, paired with the Phoenix, so we'll have a little bit of support as they're beginning to adapt.
Blocking sight.
Yeah, and Aggro getting that first pick is going to be crucial for the side of TAMU. It's traded out, though. The unanswered first blood does get answered. So now as all things devolve, two players are weak on each side. And we're going to have that neural theft, the advantage for the Cypher team. OSU knowing the information of where TAMU is. So they're going to have to rotate, move out of the position they were in, and looks like they're headed towards that A site where the tripwires for Dragonfly lay in wait. They're able to remove those, and they've got pretty much a free plant leading into this post plant position. But let's see if Dragonfly, he peeks out of heaven before anyone's really ready and gets rewarded for a frag onto Bill.
I found my wife.
From his perch here on Heaven, Dragonfly is looking to make something happen. Both members dropping at the same time. Dragonfly doing a good job of covering for Rio there at the very end as the wall will go up. Dragonfly gonna push. Hunter's Fury comes out to stop the defuse. Dragonfly has masterfully maneuvered around. And the jump teleport. Ed now onto the high ground. Is gonna get caught out by Custard, so a very low health Sova is gonna have to contest and isn't gonna find anything. Oh, does find Dragonfly. Did they defuse enough time? I think Custard should be able to nail it. Okay.
That ultimate from Custard right there, the Cosmic Divide. I mean, he's splitting the needle right there. What a well-placed ultimate ability. It makes it's lined up so that the player who goes on top of that short box can't peek over, the player long can't peek over, and if you decide to Omen TP to the other high ground, as Ed did, he still can't get through all the way unless he drops, exposing himself. Of course, Custard did win that round, and Jim Jones did have the chance to, as they passed like ships in the night through the Cosmic Divide. That ability, it deters you from hearing the sound of your enemy, and that's mainly what it's used for. Only abilities can go through, no bullets, and players have to fully expose themselves coming out of that.
One ultimate for the whole round is a pretty good bargain, if I don't say. A lot of attention now on A, however, from A&M, as they're looking to make a speedy approach once again. But OSU adapting, picking up the pace. Dragonfly able to find two there in a big fashion, and this is a situation that you don't want to see. A&M, you rely so heavily on your two duelists to help kind of get entry and hold for post plant. Now both going down.
Yeah, and there's
Jim
the
Jones
spam
will
though
fall.
from Jim Jones.
Good pick into heaven. You're never safe there when Jim Jones is on the field. Neon able to sneak past the alarm bot. They're moving a little bit quicker now. It's a 4v3, so they do have the advantage. Oh, Series checks the corner, doesn't find the kill, but it's okay. Neon's there to back them up with a couple of frags himself. Coming back onto the point, they lose one. Now it's a 1v1. Custard, once again, left-facing Jim Jones fan in the 1v1, knows the location, finds the shot, but the bullets weren't there. Jim Jones snaps to Custard's face, takes him out of the match.
Yeah, Jim Jones fan showing up huge. He got an ace that round title, and that round started with some brilliant shots from Jim Jones using both shock darts. Knows the other player is out as he did hear him. Could checks he's close. No, he snaps and it flicks onto Custard's head. Just so well played. He rotates around, gets the first player heaven, and then the next four are just falling like dominoes. And one key thing to point out right there, Dragonfly opened that round up with 2 ground tripwires, making sure that both those duelists were rendered useless that round as Dill chimes into the server, gets one, and Series responds, and it's just going to be a duel inside a lobby. That double duelist setup that we talked about. OSU using that towards A and having Cypher play elsewhere. It doesn't pay off because TAMU's aggression towards the A site is too much. The duels are lost, and here comes Jim Jones with those heaven shock darts again.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Dragonfly, please don't stand in heaven with those shock darts anymore.
Yep, 10 times the charm.
Oh, that one step. That one step gave away the information on where he was, that he was no longer in heaven, so A&M able to put 7 onto the board, and we're getting pretty close to halftime. 2 rounds left, and you know, up against a team of equal caliber, an 8-4 half is kind of the ideal, not the ideal, but the most opportunistic and most likely of outcomes if you're on the upper hand. Of course, you want to win all the rounds if you can, but if you're having to give away a couple of rounds, 8-4 is one of the better goals for halftime.
Yeah, exactly. And TAMU's been known as a very inconsistent team. Some days they're firing all cylinders, some days they just can't do it all. But this time, in this second map that they're playing today, they're coming out to play. As you see, Dill do a 180, 360, 720, just spraying around and gets one.
Yeah, I thought for a second there maybe they bumped up their DPI a little bit on accident. Wasn't quite sure what the look-arounds were for, but it was effective enough and in a very quick fashion. And I'm able to take another round
before the switch.
Yeah, and in this last round, look at the ultimate economy. I mean, ultimate economy, a concept passed over from Overwatch, right? And you have all of these ultimates online for TAMU. They're able to use that lockdown, get onto A site, maybe use it on B. They could pretty much use it anywhere except for C, and they've got Jim Jones fans. This Sova has been on fire today with his Hunter's Fury. He's usually gotten a kill or even won rounds off of getting players off of the bomb.
A delay tactic used in a really masterful fashion. Neon really wanted to find an early pick through the wall there, but wasn't able to do so. However, you get the information that they're flooding on through, so you can call a couple of members over, and OSU can be a little bit better prepared for this. Execute onto A. Aggro trying to make something happen from long with their duelist buddy sitting beside them. The question is, can them and Dill get it done? There goes the grab well as the flash. The kills are still falling for A&M's favor. Neon trying to make something happen, has to trade out. That's the perk of having both duelists have that same angle. But now it's a 2v4, and OSU have been asking a lot of their Cypher Dragonfly. They're gonna have to ask a little bit more as we come into this next engagement. This time
and there's the shock darts into the heaven position again.
This time it's not gonna find it though. However, the bullets through the sides and through the floors are gonna be just enough to take out Dragonfly. Kind of just swarmed by A&M there at the end.
I want to point out an interesting point right here. Jim Jones fans versus Rio. There's a mini matchup in this game that just wasn't appreciated right there. Rio was the first one to use his Sova's Hunter's Fury, that ultimate ability, trying to stop TAMU from pushing. What did Jim Jones do? He used his Hunter's Fury onto Rio, who he triangulated where Rio's Hunter's Fury came from, and then used it to kill Rio. And that's the Sova diff right there. You don't see it on screen, but it is so crucial. You get yourself the recon dart because you've killed the other Sova. And even off screen, what a brilliant play from Jim Jones fan. Really showing himself up here.
Now we go on to the attack of OSU. It has to be just as explosive, and it is so far. And able to find the first pick and get a lot of damage onto the second. Helms, however, trying to find one, trading out, and Jim Jones is there to save TAMU pretty much. I mean, off of Jones and aggro on the back there, TAMU was able to deter that push.
I mean, what can you do, man? We've seen eight pistol rounds from aggro so far. I think every single pistol round, I've seen him at least get a 3K. This man has like 24 kills in the day just on pistol rounds. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's absurd. This guy just is a pistol player.
Yeah, a lot of people don't put enough weight on the pistol rounds, but they can be very important as they'll add up. And when you get into a deficit, you're going to be doing a little more of them. So make sure that you're landing those shots as best you can. They see the Aerodrome come from around the corner, so they know exactly where Jim Jones is. They don't even really need that recon dart, but Neon's going to go ahead and capitalize on it anyway, finding two. And OSU are going to continue to push the envelope on the attack. Aggro is able to find one, but that's going to give away a little bit of information on where he might be. Curveball doesn't grab him, but Series does. And TAMU now down to 2. Still on the opposite side of the point, looking to engage at the same time as Helman, but Helms is going to get taken down. The peek from Dragonfly to find the second doesn't happen, and the hot hands is going to go out, but nobody on OSU has to be on the point right now. They have that Astra utility set up to pull away from it. No, Custard! He couldn't do anything!
That's why the character is so strong, right? Not only do you get pulled towards the center of that gravity well, but you're also invulnerable, meaning you take double damage. And if that wasn't enough, a sheriff shot to the head, I mean, that's like 300 damage straight to your dome right there. You didn't have to do him like that, Custard. But nevertheless, a forced buy won by OSU keeps this game competitive. And that's what I'm talking about, the swing back and forth. TAMU had the early swing in momentum. Let's see if OSU can bring that back.
Now we're getting into like the eco round. OSU will have Spectres. TAMU not going to have anything except for their classics and sheriffs that they brought to the battle. Dragonfly moving quickly with the rest of OSU over onto A, but needs to keep alert, needs to be careful of what's happening behind, because there are a couple of members of A&M ready to pursue that flank. Aggro, here's the dash, stops the plant, gets the kill, and finds two there. Custard.
Spike planted.
What a play from the Astra on OSU. I mean, more is happening. Dragonfly gets himself a double, but the sound cue of the dash gets the kill, peeks for a second, and still gets the plant off.
And Jim Jones fans trying his best to bring this round back. No. Doesn't get just two, gets the third as well.
Picks up the Phantom. And both members, I was going to say, both Dragonfly and Rio are very low for OSU. So that was definitely a winnable fight for Jim Jones there towards the end. But yeah, a big ask, 1v4.
Exactly. And this past round, we saw the flank from TAMU come in, and Dragonfly on that Cypher with those tripwires up was able to watch it much easier than Helms was on the previous half. We saw them, TAMU that is, lose a round off of a flank onto the A site because his alarm bot wasn't in range. But when you're playing Cypher, as long as you're alive, those tripwires do stay up, and that's what spotted the flank, and that's what allowed Dragonfly to get 2 kills that past round.
And a good recon dart to start things off from TAMU. They'll get a little bit of information that the A push is beginning to happen, so you can see that rotation happening as the Aerodrome scouts mid and isn't going to find anything. A good setup. The Astra grab pull into the Molly. Series able to find the opening kill. Neon with the follow-up for OSU, and they're looking really, really pretty here on the attack. I mean, it's not just aggressive, it's clean. Oh, Neo punishes Aggro for trying to get the ultimate. Here's the trigger of the blades and knows that Aggro wants to do the dirty. Oh man, OSU looking very clean on this attack right now.
I mean, personally, I've suffered the exact same fate as Aggro right there. I've done that exact jet double updraft on the A position. And let's just say I'm at the same fate as Rio, and Neon has been known to do that once in a while. Very good player in his own right, showing his stuff, and he does bring his team to a 6th round here. On Haven offense, of course, this map is looking to be attack side in favor as there are 3 bomb sites, making it harder to defend for the defenders. And let's check this out again.
Oh man!
Pretend this guy's me. Boom! I'm dead. Pretty much how I feel, how Aggro feels right there.
Like, you can't go off of the sound cue of the updrafts because he updrafted himself, so he's got that going on in his head. He just heard the ultimate go off and said, "Oh, I think he's gonna try this go."
Yeah, usually when you're playing Jet there and CT and Heaven are both smoked, you have nowhere else to really look, so might as well flick over there, and Neon gets rewarded for that. What a play by him, and it looks like TAMU on their eco round has decided to do what TAMU always does, hold W. They've gotten a player down deep mid, but OSU should be aware of this. And they're trying to rush A, clear out the angles. Helms with the nerf Bucky isn't able to get one, but Dill's there to trade him.
And you can see over towards the edge that Dragonfly is still very wary about what's happening here. But Ed's able to find the kill, and that means they find a weapon. You have to run away a little bit because you want to be able to use the Vandal that you just picked up. Needs to be careful about popping up, however. Coming through, not checking the right corner, checking the left. Series able to get the trade. And OSU, not as in this as they want to be, but they still have a chance. Spike's down, but nobody's covering it, so that is something that you can go back for.
Yeah, and the Cypher is down, so now the flank.
Neon has to watch behind him.
Flank from Aggro can come in now, but he stops, staying disciplined this time. It looks like Jim Jones will be the one to take contact towards Garage. Of course, he has this Phantom now. Will get the kill and looks for the second. No, he pulls out the dart!
Rough, but it happens. Your utility comes out to help you, and it ends up getting you killed. The plant goes down, and now Aggro giving away their position. Series able to find the kill. Oh, 50 health, so I didn't see if Dill was rocking a Sheriff this round or not. No, Dill now picking up the Phantom at full health. Has a curveball available, gets the flash, and is able to find the kill. So TAMU putting it to 11 and one step closer to finishing the map. They only need 2 more rounds.
We good.
Yep, and TAMU. The story has mostly been about Aggro, but the double duelist, the synergy between Dill and Aggro is definitely there. You see on your screen right now the scoreboard. Jim Jones fans has been lighting it up, as has Aggro. But even if you're the one carrying in terms of statistic kills, doesn't mean that your teammates aren't contributing. Of course, Ed throwing those smokes, Dill using that flame wall to separate the enemies, and using those flashes to injury. Everyone has to do their part in this game. It can't just be 1v9, and that's what TAMU is doing to win. And we have a Cosmic Divide here for Custard, so let's see how he uses it this round. A must-win round for OSU, lest TAMU gets to that match point.
I mean, let's be honest. Every round from here on out's a must-win round for OSU. They're put up against the ropes, and losing a map early to a team like A&M is never what you want. Oh man, Helms has an inkling, but doesn't have any actual information on who's on the point yet. You want to find this extremely slow. Has knives available, and just in time the divide goes up, but the shot's coming through. Neon's still able to find it. Helms a little bit surprised there, thought they were safe back at base. It's not gonna be the case, however.
The lurking Cypher was taken down though, and TAMU Aggro is so quick to flank. Jim Jones and Dill creating a distraction. And here comes the flanking jet, gets Rio in the back of the head as Dill and the rest of the team walk right in, and
unfortunate.
That's the flank.
OSU getting hit there at the very end. too many angles, if I'm going to be honest. Good job on A&M to make sure that they were flooding sight lines and making sure that people were peeking from different angles and making it difficult to run it back. From OSU ends up finding nothing because I believe it was either Ed or Jim Jones that was over towards A lobby that was able to just walk out, take care of the run it back, and then the respawn as well.
Yeah, exactly. That's why you have to be so wary of your flank when your Cypher player goes down. I guess that wasn't communicated properly to OSU. They weren't aware that anyone could be there, and Aggro grabbing that 3K means that he and TAMU are poised to take this. They don't really have too much, does OSU. They've got these jet knives, but they expended a lot of utility last round, and they're doing the tried and true A take. They've gotten their jet and the rest of their team onto that A site. This time you see Dragonfly staying alive, making sure he watches those flanks this time. It's going to be a 5 versus 5 full retake. The Killjoy ultimate should get broken very soon, but they use that timing to engage.
Of that, Jim Jones finding another kill. OSU down to 3. They've been trying to get this A push down. And finally, Dragonfly able to silence Jim Jones fan. The rest of the kills coming through. And now it's a 1v2. Helms is on point and looking for these kills. Doesn't have any information, however, where anybody is. Isn't able to find Custard as Custard gets the headshot. OSU putting it to 7. Not allowing for A&M to close this out just yet.
Yeah, it's so weird. You see the reverse of what you saw last half. Jim Jones is the one in heaven, and Dragonfly is the one in A lobby. And it goes the other way, too. What an interesting interaction between the Cypher and the Sova right there, going toe-to-toe with one another. Despite them being different agents, they're asked to do very similar roles when on offense and defense. Take that A-long positioning. When the dust has settled, TAMU still has another bye.
I mean, they've been in pretty good position so far this map. I mean, the David and Goliath story isn't the right analogy, but the uphill climb both ways in 7 inches of snow, that's pretty much been OSU this whole time. Fighting uphill, whether it's defense or attack, and with that, Helm's going to push them into a similar scenario where they're having to fight down on bodies.
Now that they're down in numbers, Jim Jones fans rotating in with that Sova drone. We'll see that no one's over towards the long position, so they can rightfully assume that they've either been in short or they've fallen back, so they're going to reinforce this C site very shortly, or actually TAMU, they're playing it smart. They've got the numbers advantage, so they're deciding that they're going to play retake for the C site. They're going to hold strong with 2 members towards Garage and 2 members towards A. If OSU does come back here, which they are, it'll be up to Helms.
One enemy remaining.
But that crossfire is deadly. There's really not much that you can do there. You can see Custard going ahead and pretty much giving up the last kill to A&M as we get some GGs in chat, and A&M punching their ticket for the first map. They're going to be moving on to Ascent, feeling pretty good. Issue is, Ascent's the map that Longhorns were able to take off of them. So is this the map that OSU is going to be able to switch things up and take it off of them? What do you think?
I think the reason why the Longhorns were able to take TAMU on Ascent specifically was because Jim Jones fans didn't break that Killjoy alarm bot in mid, and that alarm bot stopped a lot of the mid-B splits they had and made sure that no one from TAMU could really go mid without being known. So, since OSU isn't a team that plays Killjoy, they don't have to really worry about that. So unless Cypher's tripwire is there, I mean, they're going to be undeterred in the mid to B split. And you know what happens when a team who's so good at aggressively pushing in an offense is given more space and more room? It means that TAMU can keep that TAMU roller coaster riding.
Yeah.
So, I'm looking at Ascent and I'm thinking, it's their best map. They got stopped by LU, but the reason they got stopped by LU was because of a Killjoy and a Breach, and they don't have Killjoy and Breach, so unless OSU studied and thought that, oh, because we can run Killjoy and Breach instead of Cypher and Phoenix, then maybe perhaps if they pulled it out, they can get the win. But the way Aggro and Jim Jones are playing right now, it's looking like lights out.
Yeah, both of those members of A&M doing an absolute stellar job on our first map. So we're going to have to leave these two teams to have themselves a little bit of a chat as they prepare for Ascent. We're going to grab ourselves a glass of water. Go ahead and grab yourself another bowl of popcorn. We're going to be right back with Ascent after this break. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to our semifinal matchup. Here in the Central Region, we have OSU versus A&M University TAMU Maroon, and Texas A&M was hot first map against Longhorns. They were hot second map against Longhorns, third map against Longhorns, first map against OSU. They're just looking hot. They're riding this streak out in their aggression. We talked before the break about how the key for Longhorn gaming and kind of stifling that aggression and being able to put up a fight was being able to stop them from advancing into certain areas of the map, whether it was the Killjoy utility or the Cypher tripwires, and we haven't seen that from OSU as far as stopping them. Composition-wise, looks like OSU is going to bring pretty much the same thing into Ascent as they did into Haven, and if I'm going to be completely honest, I don't feel that the Astra had as much of an impact as I would have wanted to see. That one wall was real big and pretty much won that round for them, but other than that, it didn't seem to me like the Astra was playing into the factors as much.
Yeah, Astra's an agent that requires a lot of team coordination. She has 5 stars, so you can really afford to burn those, and as soon as you find out what the enemy is via Sova Dart or a Cypher Camera, you want to be putting a star where they are and using a Concuss or a Gravity Well. It will pull them towards that area and make sure that you confirm that frag. And that's what they weren't really doing with the Astra stars. But this time around, OSU's gotten a little more warmed up, so perhaps in this Ascent map, they can have a little bit of a better showing, as both these teams are very high caliber. 2 of the top teams in CF1, and of course 2 of the top teams in the Central Region. So I'm expecting another banger title.
I'm expecting nothing less on Ascent. For me, Haven and Ascent, not as much Haven, but Ascent is like, and my good friend Septilence, you'll hear him say this as well, it's the quintessential Valorant competitive map. If you don't have strategies A through Z on this map, you're doing it wrong. If you aren't ready for strategies A through Z on this map, you're just doing it wrong. Everybody plays this. I don't think I have cast a match of Valorant in Split 1 or Split 2 that didn't have Ascent. Or maybe there were like 1 or 2 that didn't have Ascent when teams started throwing in Icebox as a wild card. But for the most part, everybody plays this map at least once a match.
Yeah, and it's so well designed too because it has multiple choke points that connect through mid. You can afford to split really well. And TAMU starting on this defense means that they are going to have that classic TAMU aggression. They're mixing it up, but as is OSU. As the split B comes in, it's going to be boiled down to a 4 versus 4. Both Jets losing some HP, but the bomb plan is yet to go down, and that goes in the favor of TAMU.
Yeah, I didn't see if they didn't pull bomb with them off the bat, or if Custard was looking to go mid when TAMU got that opening kill and just decided to wrap around again. But they're able to get the plant off, deal with another kill, putting it to a 3v3, aggro finding one as well, and every single member of TAMU's mighty low, but it doesn't matter. They're able to find the kills onto OSU, and Dill going to be walking away with 3 points towards that run it back.
We good. We good.
Yeah, I really like what I saw there from TAMU's retake. The main thing was Ed purchasing the blind from Omen. He blinded Neon at the latter half of that fight, allowing the low HP aggro to take him out, and then also blinded his other teammate, Series, on the site. So that blind on pistol round paying off huge for TAMU. And that's another difference between Astra and Omen. Omen affording that blind on pistol, and in every other round can swing it back. But this game, we've seen both teams, as soon as they get the plant down, they've gone for this force buy, so don't count OSU out yet.
And a good recon dart. Isn't going to find any information on where people are, but it's going to give enough information on where people aren't to allow for OSU to aggress a little bit forward. They need to be careful, though, because over here on the catwalk, there are 2 members of TAMU that are hungry for a couple of kills. Dragonfly able to open it up onto Helms, and that's a good start for OSU as they're now put up 1 body and corralled into center, and aggro is waiting for them to transition into catwalk.
Yeah, it looks like OSU is trying to regroup, though. They're not really sure about where they're going, so they're going to take a peek up catwalk, look back behind them, and aggro gets rewarded for the positioning. And his buddy covers his back.
OSU. They have decent positioning, and they've been able to get aggro down to 1 health, so somebody can literally cough in his direction, and he'll go down. OSU doing a good job, however, of checking each corner as they go. They got caught on that one corner they didn't check, so they're not really willing to give up anything else for free. Dragonfly finds the kill into hell into aggro, and now it's a 4v3 in favor of OSU as they come into the cluster. Members from Heaven and Trees pushing for Texas A&M. Jim Jones still at full health. Location's been revealed in the back of Series and Rio. Both find kills. It's only Jim Jones to find as much as possible, but dropping down. Accuracy goes out the window when you're not standing on something.
Yeah, and I really like the weaponry choice here from Rio. He purchased the Ares going into that round, allowing him to fully utilize Sova's recon dart, scanning through the walls, spotting out where players are, and then using that spam. Great force buy there from OSU. And it's not only netted them another comeback round, but it's also broken TAMU's economy to the point where they're forced onto shares, shorties, classics, and frenzies. And look at Series here. He's 5 out of 6 on his Phoenix ult, so he's going to have it for the first gun round.
Oh no. I'm not sure if they heard aggro moving up or what, but they definitely had the information that somebody had moved forward and able to use that to their ability. Helms, I'm sorry. Not going to find anything because the angles are covered. And OSU doing a good job here on slowly approaching. TAMU getting pretty much silenced this round. The only members they do have are Hurt and over on A.
Yeah, and it looks like the B main aggression, that crossfire that they had set up with the 3-man unit didn't pay off. Didn't work last round either, as Helms is dropping there for the second time. But TAMU, I like what they're doing. Even though they only have the classics, they're grouping up, but unfortunately they do get scanned, meaning Dragonfly can just have a field day here. You can just swap them away like his namesake, but... what is that? Was that a right-click title?
Yes! Yes, it was! Overpowered!
What?
You know, this first got brought to my attention when I was casting with Paulsable, and I was like, oh, Paulsable, calm down. You're just complaining because you probably get killed by this in your own games. And then I started playing, and now I'm getting killed with it. And watching these guys use it, Paulsable was right. It's broken. Needs to get fixed.
Yeah, that just shouldn't be happening that long range, but still, Ed does get rewarded for his use of it. And it looks like TAMU, they are spreading thin. There's no one playing on A, as Series is running it back towards that spot, so it's going to be a full retake 5v5, unless someone can push the pace here. Series unfortunately not able to find anyone, as everybody from the side of TAMU has retreated. So it's going to be a full 5 vs 5 retake, and they're even ready for the heaven push from Neon.
He was so deep, too. He had such an opportunity to do work there, but gets a little bit, I wouldn't say too aggressive, but gets punished for the aggression that he did show. Trying to get some shock darts up into heaven to get a little bit of damage down, but the push comes from Tree to distract, and now a full strength Texas A&M is going to be pushing for the point. Dill waiting for the call from the rest of the team on when to break. This is going to go ahead and break, but an immediate aggression from Rio is going to get punished and pushed. Dragonfly finding one from Hell, but it's now all up to Custard here towards the winery, but not really going to be able to find much. There's so much utility blocking him from sight, and so much bullet spray coming out.
We good. We good.
Wow, I mean, they really let that one run down to the wire, though. They were up 4-0, obviously, but .22 left on the clock. Cutting a bit close is TAMU. Nevertheless, Dill here, he sprays open the door, baits the first player in, and then comes out, gets the player in hell. That was off of the blind from Ed. You saw as Dragonfly's face was covered with that dark cloud, meaning that Ed threw that blind there towards the hell position, taking his sight away. Oh my god, this Penguin Soldier is just a menace. He's ready to rumble. And so is TAMU and OSU.
Oh no. Aggro, don't do it to him. Can't do it to him. Sends all the knives and whiffs them all. So luckily OSU going to be walking away well and supplied from that one. Aren't going to have to worry about that. But the run it back is still online for Dill. So expect that to pop out this round.
Yeah, and crucially, there's no alarm bot here for the side of TAMU, so they have this mid position relatively free. Just need to check pizza and then market. And it looks like since TAMU has given this up, they have to go aggressive elsewhere. And a classic shot long range onto Rio is the opening that aggro needed. TAMU, how they won the first half, the first map rather, was getting early picks and then falling off with their numbers advantage. It looks like they're doing the very same on Ascent.
Yep, there's the bait and switch, and there's the kite and kill. And TAMU's been pretty good at the kill and kite. Taking that first and then drawing back very quickly, forcing an enemy teammate to either come into multiple people or into a disadvantageous situation. But OSU with the plant, yet again, they've been holding on site a lot, not really opting to go off site for the first plant. Beautiful recon dart information leads to a kill from Ed. There it is again, the right click on the classic from Dill. Able to find another kill. Custer looking to do the same. Able to find the opening shot, but not the following one. So Dill and the rest of TAMU are still able to put numbers on the board, get their economy back online, and put OSU into a pretty dire situation.
Yeah, so close there for OSU. Custer, he gets the first, the second, and the third, but isn't able to clean up the round. You saw Dill here with this run it back, breaks the tripwire, jumps down, uses the classic because he sprayed all his bullets into that lower position. And now, as all things are equal, the scoreline 3-2, the economy a little dangerous here for OSU, but they've got that cosmic divide. Let's see how they use that on their offensive half, as it did win them a round on Haven. Let's see if they can do the same on Ascent.
Don't do it to him, Helms. Don't do it to him, Helms. Trying to do it through the wall. Isn't going to have the right angle, so won't be finding the kill, and Dragonfly is going to take that as an entry. Knows that Helms has to be in that spot with the Odin. So able to take him out predictably and get the neural net online. Dragonfly once again able to trade out. Jim Jones fan showing up big. It's TAMU now down to 3. OSU. 4 people left for full health on the point. Ultimates coming online. Yikes. But they need to be careful. Aggro's sitting here with an operator. Oh, and he's going to be able to get out of direction as well. Pick up the Vandal on the way in and give a little bit of a scare. But it's not going to be enough. The angles are covered. Man, Dragonfly's there.
Man, Dragonfly opens and shuts that round. He runs in while the player is reloading. Full running Spectre. W key, no shift there. Just running him amok. Gets the second player on that stair position and then closes out that round. We talk so much about Neon and Aggro on these Jets, but Dragonfly's having himself a game right now.
Yeah, he's soaring, if you will. I'm sorry, I'm done. For now. Until another one pops into the old noggin. That one didn't work. You can go ahead and flame me, chat. It is completely okay, I understand. OSU now looking to put something on the board, but TAMU once again putting a cork in the bottle. Aren't able to find anything there, but almost a quick response comes back. I got a little bit excited, but it was just a turret. Jim Jones now looking to protect there and mark it.
Yeah, and deal with that opening pick. Going unanswered is TAMU's secret formula. Just like the previous round and this round, they've gotten the opening kill. Now it's just going to be up to them to stabilize now and ensure that they play this numbers advantage properly.
Dashes through the alarm bot. Make sure to set that up. Helms is still on point, but Neon finds the kill. That's going to open it for OSU as the man advantage is lost for A&M, and the plant goes down. A little bit of extra money into OSU's pocket. Aggro. You tried, buddy. That was cheeky. If that had worked, that would have been amazing. But a little bit of your body sticking out, so they're able to find the kills. And Custard coming in big with the cross sight lines on Dragon to give OSU yet another round. And, you know, this is another instance of A&M just going 1 for 1 for 1 for 1. on rounds with another team.
Yeah, it's so back and forth, and they're really putting a lot of pressure on Helms. He's been playing that B site as an anchor with this Killjoy, and it looks like OSU has found a weak point that they can really abuse towards that site. So TAMU, doing what TAMU does, they adapted their aggression, putting Helms towards that A site. Having Jim Jones play the anchor here along with Dill, perhaps they can get it done as they just go B again, does OSU. They're pushing on inward, having the Molly drop down to that stairs position, but nope. They think they've had enough, they're starting to back out, or maybe they'll go for that fake and re-execute.
I think they're trying to draw out members of A&M. They know that A&M likes to do this aggressive flank. They're not looking for it, though. Possibly not their intention. But if aggro isn't careful, he is going to get rotated on. And a curious rotation through spawn coming through from OSU. You know, they had space that they kind of gave up just then. And it's given a lot of time for A&M to rotate over the point.
No hard feelings.
The drone will go through. That'll give a kill to Dragonfly. Patience will pay off. But now Dill into the back able to find the kill. There goes Neon with another one for OSU. And there it is. 2 kills going down. Neon the last one remaining against 3 members of A&M. Able to find the first kill at Mighty Low as Zed finds the final bullet. 4-4. We're keeping it even all the way up. I wouldn't be surprised to see an overtime.
Yeah, it's going 1 for 1 for 1, but the difference is that because it's going like this, the economy for both teams is just on a knife's edge. It's just teetering one way to the other one. Every single round that gets won just brutalizes the other team's economy. And if they're unable to buy back in, it's really going to be about which team seeds that economy game, which team doesn't force back in the next time.
Yeah, and to correct us, they've actually been going 1 for 2 for 2 for 2, which is an important thing to note because then you get the losing streak advantage when you buy, and if you lose that 3rd round, that's when your economy gets trashed. So if either of these teams are able to put it on board where they can get 3 in a row, that's going to happen. Dragonfly with the opening kill from OSU. The Hunter's Fury coming out from Jim Jones. Nobody on site, however, to find that as Series pushes up and able to find another member of TAMU as they're put down to 3 and not a speck of health has been taken off of an OSU member. And Dragonflies on a big flank finds Dill out as well. And with that going down, OSU's able to put another round on the board. But once again, we're just trading rounds. So the economy is not really getting out of hand for either side.
Yeah, and let's see if TAMU decides to buy back into this one. Nope. It looks like they're low enough and they're ceding the round to OSU unless Agar with these knives and the Sheriff on the hands of Jim Jones can pull off something big this round, perhaps turn it into their favor. But I want to highlight Dragonfly. The man on Cypher is getting opening frags for his team. This is not usually a role that's typical for Cypher, getting the opening kills, as Aggro charges it down before being beheaded by Neon in the upper tile position.
Oh, Helms in such a secretive position with the Bucky, able to find the first but not the second. The nerf coming into play as Neon's able to take him out. 4v3 now onto the point, up to the heaven. Neon getting taken down as Jim Jones able to even it out. Custard not liking that, wants to put it back into OSU's favor and does so cleanly. The Owl Drone going to get contested by a second Owl Drone as Jim Jones has to run away from this. Dill only has a classic contesting from this point, and there's a Cypher cage to cut the sight lines, so Texas A&M, they have to be patient, they have to wait, and they have to push into full weaponry from OSU.
Yeah, there's not much they can do here as Dill tries to go through the smoke opportunistically. Doesn't get the flash off, and Rio takes down his teammate in Jim Jones, so it's all up to Dill, and Dill doesn't have any pickles today, and he's just gone out of the server now.
And a good play by OSU. They're starting to gain their momentum here, and it's very important that they win that last round because now you're putting Texas A&M into a situation where if they lose this gun round, they don't have economy to contest in the final round of the half.
Yeah, it could just be an 8-4 half in the favor of OSU, a much different attacking side than we saw on Haven from them. But maybe the tides are turning. I think OSU has warmed up a little bit, guys. So, let's see what they've got here as Neon takes the perched up position, finds Aggro again, Jets trading fire, tagging each other up, but both deciding that don't want to commit to this one, so they'll maybe meet up again in the mid position. Aggro playing it a little smarter, but doesn't really
smoked.
find the enemy, so it looks like Custard says, nope, I'm just going to smoke that off. Our team's going to go towards B, and this is where the contact is. No utility used in mid means they get the mid-B split for free.
Oh, no.
And Dilla's hung out to dry as he's looking at two angles of two players. And Neon, he's just allowed onto the bomb site. His whole team's
Yeah,
behind him.
Those are big kills for OSU to open things up. Texas A&M really doesn't have much of a contest. Odin to the face, aggro, oh no. And they're going to be able to take a flawless round. They're up 7 now. This last round of the half shouldn't be too difficult for them to secure. I mean, if anything, I'm expecting glass cannons for the entirety of the A&M side. Buy a rifle, half shield, light shields if you can.
Yeah, and it really looks like it's a difference between the Sentinels right now. Helm's on that Killjoy versus Dragonfly on that Cypher. When you're playing Killjoy, you have to be within range of your alarm bot and turret. 20 meters is the metric. And so, if he's not 20 meters within that utility, he's not allowed to move as freely as Dragonfly is. And Dragonfly's been everywhere all over the map, and Helms is kind of confined towards his utility, and that's caused him to not really be able to get into the game, as Agros found himself a great little look in the winery, but can't convert on the frag.
Rio able to find that kill in a big fashion. OSU. It may be a 4v4 or a 3v4 now. With the Cosmic Divide up, they're going to have a little bit of extra to plant the bomb. And does get the information that the bomb's going down, so they're going to go ahead and try and flash on through. Dill has to deal with the door. But the Killjoy coming out from A&M is going to make it so that OSU has to back completely off of the point, and they know where they've gone.
Yeah, and Catwalk is being watched by that alarm bot, so it's going to be Jim Jones with a crossfire and Helms. Let's see how they handle this two-man push as first contact goes to Helms and first one down.
Yeah, the only series left, and series is already hurt. Doesn't have the hot hands for the health, so gonna push the envelope. A&M will be able to grab 5 rounds on their defense and going into their attack where they feel a little bit more comfortable. OSU is gonna have to put up one heck of a defense.
Yeah, Helm showing up big that past round. Let's see if he can maintain that momentum into the attacking side. As Killjoy on attack can put that turret towards the B spot, the B perch position, getting that turret down, and then from there, that watches the B position push from B main and mid. It allows his team to have the freedom to take the bomb site without making sure anyone can be there. The key thing is though, 4 members of TAMU stacked towards this position. They've got some sort of read, perhaps, on OSU, hoping that they don't go there. Trying to wait it out.
They're just going to wait, yeah. See if anybody goes aggressive and pushes up, maybe. They're going to send the drone. Oh, they're doing the bait and switch with the drone. They're going to drone out on A, pull the rotation, and then move in onto B. Already happened. Dash has gone onto site. Texas A&M have the site completely for free. They're able to use smokes to deter the reposition. Not even the retake, just the reposition coming in from OSU. Bomb goes down. OSU's already lost a member, and now A&M have the upper hand in the fight. And the Dill position here at B long, or B main. They're going to be able to set up a pretty nice crossfire for anybody looking to aggress onto aggro.
Yeah, and aggro, with that added security, is able to take down 2 before Dragonfly gets too nice of his own.
That's a big play from Dragonfly. It kind of opens the door a little bit for Custard, but Custard going to be going against 2 full health members of A&M. Oh, yeah, needs to check that corner, but a little more worried about the back of sight than they were the boxes in the corner. A&M putting one on the board, and it looked really clean. I mean, that was, look at my right hand, and let me steal your money with the left.
Yeah, exactly. TAMU, this is the second time today that they've gone for a fake on the pistol round. They bought it hook, line, and sinker. Ed smoked A. Jim Jones fan threw the drone in and the rotation. Dragonfly bought it, as did the rest of OSU. Neon paid the price in mid, and that was all she wrote. Because TAMU has come out clear to play, but look at it again. They've bought back. They don't want to cede any ground whatsoever. OSU is just purchasing as much as they can. They've got scattered weaponry. And it's going to be a bloodbath here on the A site.
Quick entry again from A&M like we know and love, as OSU has to back out from the engagement a little bit, like you said, a sparse buy. So not necessarily fighting on equal terms. Sirius trying to take the peak, but aggro able to cover it well. Neon with the Marshall needs to be able to land the shots, but gets put down to 11 health, isn't able to find it.
Ooh.
Yeah, another
And a little bit of a
there's Jim
mistimed
Jones!
flash.
Oh, the shock dart into heaven again!
Yeah, it seems Jim Jones, that's his specialty. He likes throwing those shock darts towards the heaven position. And the rest of the team, Helms and co, watching two separate angles. Helms gets rewarded for 2, as does Aggro. And look at the economy for OSU. Because they force bought those Stingers, Spectres, and that Scout up, now they're forced onto an Eco round and a third round, which would usually be their buy round. So now because of this, TAMU is able to keep all their Spectres and the $3,000 that they each have a piece and keep it and just grow their economy. This is starting to look very much in the favor of TAMU as they're starting to win rounds and build up economy.
Well, you predicted that OSU would be putting something new to the table and that TAMU would have to adapt, and that's exactly what's happening, and they're doing so well. Able to find 2 now, looking for the third. Oh, is it going to be a right click? I have a feeling it was going to be a right click. Jim Jones still finds Rio as one member of OSU remains.
Yeah, round going as expected, as Custer does end up getting an exit frag with the Sheriff, not just 1 but 2. The headshot blazer onto Helms means that it is going to be winnable if Custer can find these connections. But it doesn't look like TAMU is aggressive anymore. They're playing it smart, backing off, making sure that until he taps the spike, they're not going to peek him.
Custer's just paranoid. Wants to survive through the end of the round. Doesn't want to get taken down here. Maybe get a free pick if anybody tries to be cheeky, but knowing from I'm going to be cheeky. I mean, this is the quarterfinals. The fun stuff is over. You got to put your real stuff on the map. Oh, no! Custard goes in to grab the weapon to have it for next round and still gets caught by the bomb.
Yeah, I mean, he can buy anyway, so it doesn't really matter, but, you know, maybe it was a little cheeky. Even if you do save the Spectre there, though, you're not going to really want to use it into this next round, I'd hope. You really want that Phantom or Vandal on your hands. And the main thing about winning these first 3 rounds isn't just the fact that the economy is built up for TAMU, but they've got a better ult economy, too. They're closer to their ultimates, and that could bode really well as both sides have Phoenixes and Killjoy and Astra, which are winning ultimates.
The early picks are important for OSU, and they're going to fall 1 down, but the swing is there for Neon. Needs to find the second, and if they want to take the advantage out of this situation, the reload's there and the smoke. Going to be able to protect him for just... It was a fake smoke as well.
Deploying drone.
But OSU still not able to keep their man advantage.
Enemy marked.
A&M doing a good job of finding their picks early, taking their engagements. Looks like they're going to want to divert over towards B for A&M. A looked a little bit too well covered.
Yeah, it looks like
Question
Ed
is,
heard
does
the
Aggro get
rotation. Aggro could get caught, but it looks like he snuck his way in through the mid position. There's no Killjoy alarm bot here. No Cypher Tripwire to stop him. So he's got himself into great position.
The Omen utility pulls the attention from Neon, and Aggro gets the kill off of the distracted Jet. Now A&M get B for free.
Seconds left.
And TAMU, they're playing so smart. They've given the spike over to their Killjoy player, who is just one off of his ultimate ability. Allowing him to get the spike down means that they will have that Killjoy lock it down for the next round. And in a 4 versus 2, post-plant positioning for the offense, TAMU is looking to secure their 9th round. It's looking almost inevitable for them, as the players of OSU,
like
Custard, yeah, and Rio are looking to save here. They've backed off. They need their weaponry. And all's going accordingly to TAMU's plan as they're picking up their 4th round on this offensive side. That will not only bolster their economy and bolster their ultimates, but it'll also give them that momentum that they're so known to play off of.
And only 3 rounds away now. 4 rounds away now. I can math, don't worry. Only 4 rounds away from the win. A&M, and if they take this, they're going to 2-0 OSU, hand OSU their first defeat of the second split and beyond. You know, the only map they lost is that first one in the first split, but they're going to go on to fight the finals.
Yes,
if A&M can secure 4 more rounds. OSU needs to get a tourniquet and kind of stop the bleeding a little bit, because it's beginning to get out of hand. If they lose another round, it's going to get worse.
Wow, my eyes are down.
Yeah, they've really got to stop the bleeding with those first aid kits. And it looks like the Killjoy ultimate comes in. I'm not sure that Rio has a Sova Hunter Sphere to answer, so it will just be that B take. But the nice cage from Dragonfly takes down the Phoenix ultimate. Not enough, though, as aggro responds.
Couple of shock darts to try and get some cheekiness in there. Rio holding a very tight angle just in case aggro decides to turn the corner, but Texas A&M not wanting to give away any kills. That's okay, however, because Neon's going to earn them. There goes aggro to put a little bit of a punish on. There go the blades, and the shots come out. Aggro almost going to snag the ace here, but isn't able to secure it as Custard kind of puts it into that drain. 3 members, however, on site for A&M. You're feeling pretty comfortable. Custard's pretty hurt. I almost got him through the wall there.
Yeah, and I want to take this time to talk about the point of the Astra versus the Omen. Astra's a character that works so well with the team when they're allowed to play off of the utility of Astra. That hasn't been the storyline, as OSU are going in before Custard is able to use that utility, the gravity well, the concuss, and the smokes to help them out. Whereas Ed on this Omen is just able to freely throw blinds in, smoke off cover, and go trade his teammates. Even though the scoreline suggests otherwise, that Custard is playing better than Ed, it's more about how the team gels together. Because Ed's always in there with his teammates, whereas Custard is forced a lot of these rounds to be the one saving. That's why you see him only there with 8 deaths. That's because he's forced backward. He has to stay alive, as his team is the one that's crumbling around him.
Still not out of the fight, though. OSU has the chance to bring it back. It's a difficult battle, but it is one that they can do. This is not the first time they've been put onto dire straits, but they are going to be walking on a bit of eggshells. And Series going into mid with the running back, doesn't see anybody, is able to find a couple of shots, but it's not what they need as Jim Jones fans finds another kill. 2 members down for OSU already. Rio trying to spam a little bit into the flame wall. If anybody crosses, they would have died, but nobody's dumb enough to do so. Dragonfly able to come in, and Dill was holding a hard angle here onto Catwalk to wait for Series and got punished for it, but Jim Jones is going to punish the aggression coming out from Series in response to the kill. So we can get the Dragonfly now in mid, but a Stinger does not have the best of range. 7 health. There's the rotation from Rio, putting into a different angle of aggression. Now it's going to be up to Ed. He knows exactly where Ed is. Almost takes his head off there at the very end. Shock Dart putting him down to 31 health. This is a good round for OSU. All Rio really has to do is be patient with the rotation. Left. If he can make it back to mid before Ed goes through. Isn't going to happen. Make it through market.
Yeah, it
But
looks
still,
like
low
they're
health on
trying to figure out where the other player is. Rio used that time to relocate, even though the spike was down. He should know that the shock dart chunked him a little bit as the sound cue did come in, but will he expect the early push? He does. He pulls out his weapon just in time to win that 1 versus 1. And that's exactly what OSU needed, Steidel. They needed that round. Otherwise, they would be down 7-11. If that was the case, it was going to be all TAMU. They get their first round of the half, and as you said, they staunched the bleeding. They put that tourniquet on.
And it's not just an important round for the scoreboard. It's not just an important round for the economy, but it's also really important for the mental state of the OSU team to be able to spring back right now. I mean, if you look at the scoreboard, that's 6 rounds in a row from Texas A&M coming across the half, and that's a difficult thing to grab. You were doing a good job of going blow for blow on your attack, but now on your defense, you're getting a little bit run over. It's a good thing to be able to pump the brakes on the car.
Standing ahead.
Let's see what OSU is able to do here now on the defense, putting both of their duelists over onto A, expecting the push, and now they've given away at least one of their positions. Aggro, able to see the foot of Series to take them out. Needs to be careful. Neon looking for the kill. Gets the kill on the dash away, so it's a 1-for-1. Often we've seen A&M get that first kill and do so unanswered. That's not going to be the case here today. Neon's there to find 2. So there's going to be even trades across the board until Rio getting caught in heaven makes it a 2v3 situation.
Yeah, and Jim Jones fans has everything he needs here to secure the round. He's got that Hunter's Fury. He's got that Recon Dart. They've even invested the lockdown here from Helms. So there's not much that they can do from the side of OSU to really get back into this site.
Well, they're going to use that as their setup. They walk in to find the Vandal, but immediately get caught. Custer able to do good work here, finding 2, looking for the 3rd, but Ed has the shot perfectly lined up and is able to find the kill. A&M now pushing it to I think that's an 11th round, only 2 left. 2 more maps to seal their deal and punch their ticket to the finals of the region and get one step closer to being a member of those grand finals.
Yep, the winner of this match, I do believe, will book their ticket, if I'm not wrong. And it looks like that will be TAMU so far. OSU has a difficult
not only
choice
to come
make.
back, but they have another map to win.
Yeah, they've got a difficult choice here, too. They're so low in money, but they're going for the force buy this round. It's all or nothing for them now.
Okay, OSU using the Sheriffs on the defense series. This time going to be holding true, has them hot hands ready for when TAMU tries to enter. Hot hands going to go out into the well. Nope, doesn't look like they're going to use it just yet. So A&M are going to get pretty much free purchase onto the fight. Couple of shots here and there, but nothing too bad. There goes the Hunter's Fury. It does knock the spike loose. Ed gonna get caught by that. The shot into heaven gonna miss. Aggro does get tagged just a little bit. I believe his foot's still up there as the plant goes down. Dragonfly with another pick up. TAMU having to struggle. 3 members to come back. They are not finding the picks that they need, but OSU, their bullets seem to have trackers on them. They know where every member of A&M is, and now it's gonna be up to Jim Jones, who's got 10 health, not on site. Taking their time with getting back to the rotation. Not going to find anything. I don't believe they're going to hunt either. You took the win. You put yourself a little bit closer to tying it up and stopped A&M from railroading you.
Yeah, they 4-spot Spectres, Sheriffs into that round, and it actually paid off for them. Dragonfly with a nice 2K there from the heaven position. Long-range Spectre, and his team also backing him up, making sure that OSU's 4-spy ends up working out, but it's still about TAMU because they have 4 ultimates. OSU invested a lot there. They invested that Cosmic Divide, so even though they won the round, they're actually down in weaponry. They've only have 4 guns and a Spectre to their name. Meanwhile, TAMU has that full rifle setup and the ultimate advantage. So let's see. The A bomb site has been a point of contention here for TAMU. They really like this area. They challenge Neon again. Make sure he uses that dash out early on. And now the rotation is coming in from OSU. Trying to bolster their defense here as Aggro's poking. Oh, tries to get a spray.
Neon. Beautiful shots. They're going to equate to 2 kills, and not only 2 kills, but a complete stop to the momentum that A&M was trying to kind of present. Dill now, you can see, having to think twice about the curveball into trees. No doubt the members of TAMU trying to strategize on how to kind of return in favor. The curveball comes back through. Series able to find the kill and protect their custard, if you will. And another couple of kills come through, and OSU putting it to 10. They're not going to give this match to A&M without a fight.
Yeah, I really like how OSU is playing this right now, Steidel. They have the Cypher towards the B-bomb site. They know they can't be through B-main because of the tripwires. And then Rio is locking down mid, so they're able to channel their Duelist and Custard's utility towards that A site. But they're switching it up now. They think that TAMU is going to play a little differently. They're not going to go A anymore, is their assumption. So they're moving Dragonfly towards A, and they'll play that for retake, and move their double Duelist towards B. So look for them to get aggressive here towards that B main position and maybe catch someone from TAMU off guard.
And kind of a little bit of a fake coming from TAMU. Not a fake necessarily, just a split push. And they're waiting for OSU to get aggressive. OSU's on the ropes. A&M knows it.
Yeah, both teams just playing it super patiently.
Issue is, A&M, you're playing against the clock. OSU can sit here and hold these angles all day long on the defense. You don't have that luxury on the offense. They show a little bit A, and this is what they're trying to do. They're trying to get aggro to draw aggression onto the A site by using utility. It is going to pull the attention.
Threw that cloudburst down, used the dash backward, trying to fake the sound, but they're not buying what TAMU is selling. This Dragonfly was there, and he saw the fake dash, so now OSU all rotating, leaving that A site, as you see, and they're even committing the Killjoy ultimate. Alright, it's going to be up to the members of OSU to get out of dodge now, and the members of TAMU to entry onto this site. Taking it over, but no, the Phoenix Soul gets sent back.
Another big question is whether or not Aggro is going to be able to make anything happen. But a good transition coming out from A&M. Aggro was able to scout out that everybody in trees and everybody in heaven had already begun to rotate. So now it's a free site. We go straight through mid in quick fashion to find the plant. Now OSU playing against the clock. Aggro and Ed both able to find a couple of kills as OSU put into dire straits with 11 rounds for A&M. They're looking to make it 12, but Custer's got a different plan. 2v3 now on site as A&M look to use their man advantage and take the site, but a run it back comes through. Goes to check heaven, finds the player, a generator, and is going to have to check that corner, but isn't looking for somebody to flank up into heaven. Moves down from heaven before the flank can happen. And it might be a little bit too late, but you can grab a couple of kills. So he's able to find one more. Bomb will detonate. Ed probably not going to make it out of there alive. There he goes.
Match point.
TAMU is playing OSU like a fiddle right there. They commit everything towards B. They throw the fake A, and then they actually go back to A with Aggro and Ed. Aggro just lurking up in there as the Jet, and then Ed TPing into the backline. Still, both teams have the economy they need to buy into this round. And they are adapting very slowly, so let's see which one comes out top. Will it be TAMU winning both maps early on, or will OSU come back?
Helms is only going to have a Spectre this round. But TAMU, only with 4 rifles on the board, make that 3. They've already lost 1, and the aggressive defense coming out from LSU is not what they were expecting. There goes the drone, the flashbang just in case, but he's able to find yet another kill. Series doing some work for OSU. TAMU shaking in their boots a little bit as they've gotten so close to finishing this out and getting themselves into the Central Region Finals. They just need one more round, and OSU is going to make them fight tooth and nail for it. Yeah, that recon.
Yeah, and the mid position. The mid position is only being watched by Series here with a single flashbang. So it's going to be up to him if they do decide to go to that position. They're steadily creeping and double peek him at the same time. He gets out of dodge with his life, and they notice that since the Phoenix is in market, perhaps he's not towards that A side anymore, so the walk-up catwalk catch Dragonfly. Custard responding with one before.
Good trade.
Helms with that Spectre. Full running, takes down his counterpart. Close to the door, maybe he's looking to plant the spike while Ed taking a Taking a trip.
Taking a walk. Did Rio hear that? Didn't hear the gun cock. Ed's gonna go ahead and give him another little ode. You've got to hear this gun cocking. Ed from the high ground finds the first one. Now it's a 2v1. The crossfire's there. Series doesn't care. Maybe low health. But that's gonna be it. A&M are gonna be able to take the round, take the map, and take the day here at our Central Region playoffs. And you know, that's it. They're into the finals. They're going to be going ahead and moving on to face the winner of the Western UH Premier match.
Yep, 5-1 on the day. We've seen them climb up all the way from the bottom. They looked a little disjointed versus LU, but look at this. OSU, the team that is supposed to be slightly better than them, TAMU, just came out just ready to play. And as you said, you got that cup, TAMU all the way. The TAMU train don't stop. So look for them to represent the Central Region in the Grand Finals on May 15th and 16th here at CF1.
Yeah, the only question they have is what is our seed going to be? Are we going to be able to win this last match here in the regional finals, or are we going to have to, take that second seed? But we're going to figure out a little bit more of that, as well as get an insight into the OSU team after a short break, ladies and gentlemen, as we have an interview lined up. So please don't go anywhere. You're going to miss the action. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. The one, the only aggro sitting up here above us. Congratulations. You guys have been able to take 2 wins. We didn't get to interview after the first one, but a really hard fought battle against Longhorn Gaming, and then a good quick win against OSU. Not an easy one, but a quick one.
No.
I only really have one question, and it does stem out of that first game that you guys played. Longhorn Gaming on paper looked like a team that you guys were going to kind of roll through. And then they came out with that double sentinel composition on Haven, and it seemed like the aggression and speed that you guys love to play just wasn't as at hand anymore.
Yeah, I mean, it's difficult, right? You have 2 sentinels on Haven. I mean, the map has 3 sites, so when you start to try and take sites, you run into these issues where you usually wouldn't, right? Like Killjoy alarm bots and Cypher trips. But we knew UT was going to play their 2 sentinels. They've been playing that for like a few weeks now. And we know those guys kind of closely over there. So it wasn't anything we expected to necessarily steamroll. We also had a sub today because, Dan sucks and he's in Cancun, but that's another story. But yeah, I mean, it definitely does stunt, kind of our aggression. It's in our name. I mean, literally my name is aggro. I do nothing but hold W all day long and try and get kills. So it's definitely a struggle, but I've tried to become more disciplined in my game, and recently I think it's helped a lot, just kind of slowing it down, still having those plays where maybe I go and I do something stupid, but I looked at map statistics. I had like 9 first bloods. Like, it didn't matter. It's regardless of what I do, at the end of the day, I try and get that first blood. I get out, I do what I can, and that's our story. That's what we do.
You can see it paying off,
like you said, you get those first bloods and then you fall off. That's superb jet play from you. And you even incorporated fakes this time around. You were the solo seller of that fake. You threw the jet smoke. You had the Sova drone or Sova dart come in. And that's a level of gameplay we haven't previously seen from you guys. So I'm wondering, is that a call from someone on the team, or is that you doing that vocality?
Well, so we scrim and we stream a lot. So a lot of people know kind of how we play. A lot of people are VOD watchers. We saw it on the UT game. They stacked something when we did a default that we did, and we knew. They knew we were doing those things. And so once I started playing well, and once I started making it obvious that I was going to kind of be a menace to society for them, I made the call. I was like, okay, y'all start rotating to a site. We can just let me make info. Let me make a play. I don't know if you saw it on Ascent, but I threw a smoke on a site, and then I hit a dash, because usually I would just dash right into that smoke, but I just hit the wall. I did it on purpose. I wanted them to think, okay, he's out. What do we have to worry about? Asher rotated in, she popped her smokes, and then my guys just walked up B main and got a free kill. I mean, it's just one of those things where it's like, it's not something we're going to do. It's one of those things where like, okay, we know this tendency, so let's change the tendency and then make you play off of it. Because counter-strat and counter-strats in Valorant isn't a thing. You anti-strat, but you can only go so far with that.
Yeah, and that play ended up securing you guys key rounds versus not only OSU, but also LU. And I want to talk a little bit about this finals matchup you have coming up. You booked your ticket now to the grand finals on May 15th and 16th, but you still have one more opponent to play against, the winner of Western University versus UH Premier. Are you looking at someone specific?
I mean, we know UH should win that game. It's just they're a very good team. They're very strong, but we play UH like once a week. It's just one of those things. It's another one of those teams where we know everything about them. We know exactly how they play. They've got a 12-man roster, so they'll play one guy, and then the next game they'll play 3 new people. So we'll see who we play. We'll see who's on that team, but we know them regardless. It doesn't matter. It doesn't change anything. We're gonna do our game plan. We're gonna win our rounds, and that's gonna be it. That's gonna be the story.
Well, you've got a solid game plan there. So I'm wondering, a lot of people call you guys the TAMU train. You guys like to go aggressive and just get in their faces. Your name suggests that in aggro. You had amazing pistol rounds today, 3Ks back-to-back versus LU and OSU. So I'm wondering, is there anyone in Nationals? You said that a lot of people watch your streams, watch your VODs. I myself have tuned into your stream once in a while to see how TAMU plays when I played against you guys. So I'm wondering, is there anyone in Nationals you're looking forward to playing?
I mean, we just love playing the game. It doesn't matter to us who we play. You could put anybody out there. We don't care. We enjoy playing the game. We enjoy doing our part. I mean, we're not scared of anybody. No one really scares us. There's times where we don't, we make stupid mistakes, and that really costs us. But if there's anybody to name, it just doesn't exist. We're not scared of anybody. We'll take anybody. No.
That's great to hear going into the grand finals. Of course, you still have one more match to decide your seed, but it doesn't matter for your seed if you're just not scared of anyone. And as Agro said, it's been a long day for you. You've played a lot of Valorant. You've gotten used to that new mouse you have, and now that you have, is there anyone you want to shout out now before you head off and take a nice, well-deserved break for the day?
I mean, I would just like to shout out all my friends over here at A&M. I mean, we got Dill and Helms. Those guys are in and out every game, every day. They're working their asses off trying to get wins. Jim is always struggling he does 400 things a week. So that man, the fact that he can show up and still play games is incredible. Ed, I want to shout out that man because Dam is gone. So everybody go to Dam's Twitter and unfollow him and then follow Ed. So now we can have real A&M players being followed because that man's bad. I'm mad at him. But that's okay. That's okay. So that's it. That's about it. And just my stream, twitch.tv/agro_. So
there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Hop on over to his channel, give him a follow so that you can get some VODs and improve your play a little bit better, of course. But thank you so much. Please take our congratulations with you back to your team. Excited to see that you guys have no fear going into these grand finals.
thank you.
And that is going to do it for myself, Shadow24, and Jonah, Best Student GG here at CF1. We are going to have to exit the casting booth to make way for Tooth Pete and Paulsable, who are going to be bringing you the second half of our matches today. So hang tight. We do have more Valorant for you, but for us too, stay safe, don't be toxic, and have a great day.